The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Moreno-Ong tandem has just arrived at the I'm Pilipinas and One Batangas convention in Lipa City. Isko Moreno and Willie Ong are accompanied by Senator Ralph Recto and Aksyon Demokratiko senatorial vets Carl Balita, Samira Gutok, and Joseph Sison. Now, in an ambush interview, Recto admitted that he is supporting Moreno's presidential bid. But he also said that Batangas is an open province and insisted that other contenders are still welcome to visit the area. Meanwhile, former Senator Antonio Trillanes insists that Vice President Leni Robredo did not betray anyone when she decided to run for president. This comes after the side of presidential aspirant Isko Moreno said that they felt betrayed since Robredo was supposedly pushing for a Moreno-Pacquiao tandem for the 2022 polls. In an interview with A Big Story, Trillanes said that Robredo only decided to run for president when the unity talks collapsed.
Ito yung talagang totoo na hindi talaga tatakbo si VP nung panahon na yun. At nangyari lang, nabuo lang yung kanyang desisyon after nag-fail yung mga talks. So I don't see any betrayal there. It was very consistent doon sa naramdaman namin kasi talagang in fact, tinutulak namin si VP tumakbo at ayaw niya, kaya na-frustrate din kami. So walang betrayal kami nakikita.
Meanwhile, Robredo said that if she gets elected as president, she will spend her first 100 days to control the pandemic. This includes realigning the national budget to address COVID-19, allotting more funds to healthcare sector, and improving access to COVID-19 vaccines. Robredo also emphasized the importance of good governance in the development of the country.
It is good governance. It is really good governance that will pave the way for a better Philippines. It is good governance that will give the necessary changes that we have been dreaming of. So one can expect a real focus on strengthening institutions, on cleaning the bureaucracy, setting platforms to ensure that good governance is in place. It's giving more space for people to directly participate in governance, more institutions that will make sure that transparency and accountability will be primordial. So it's many of those things.
Agencies are sounding the alarm in the possible threat of privacy of text blast devices, as well as its impact on election campaigning. But an online seller claims these devices have been around since 2012. Camille Samonte reports.
More than a dozen sales ads for text blast machines can be seen on different e-commerce websites ahead of the 2022 elections. This product is advertised as a political campaign text blaster on Facebook Marketplace, Lazada, and Shopee. News 5 talked to one of the online sellers to inquire about the product. The seller told us that many politicians are buying text blast machines this election season.
Sino po yung mga bumibili sa inyo? Saan po ginagamit?
2012 pa ako, nagbebenta na ako nito. May mga na din, may mga mayor, congressman, senator. Actually, hindi naman talaga to pwedeng illegal kasi talaga to. Hindi to pwede sa mga politiko.
The seller also said that the device is effective in election campaigns since it could send multiple text messages even without numbers.
Hindi na kailangan ng contact numbers ng kung sino yung within the area na yan. Kasi yung machine na yun, as long as nasagap ka sa within 2 kilometer radius niya, nasasend niya ng message.
The price ranges from 1.5 million up to 3 million pesos, depending on the text characters. The National Privacy Commission is alarmed by these unsolicited political messages. NPC Chair Raymond Liboro said real emergency alerts from NDRRMC might be disregarded by the public eventually.
When people are getting this as emergency alert, kapag totoong risko na o natural o lindol na yan o tsunami na yan, baka hindi mo napansinin. Kung marami ka natatanggap ng mga ganyan,
Following this, the NTC has ordered e-commerce sites to stop selling the equipment. The regulator said it is a clear violation of the radio control law. They, however, admitted that it is difficult to trace groups or individuals using the equipment.
Mahirap siyang ma-monitor, masundan. Kung kailangan ng talagang yung surveillance, kailangan ng intelligence work.
The NAMFER has also expressed their concern.
Ang pinaka-danger nga dyan is, to me, it borders on intrusion to the privacy of the individuals, ng mga tao. Okay? So, for example, kung yung text blast ay pumasok in an ungodly hour, di ba? Intrusion na yun.
For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
The government is sticking to its growth target this year as it moves to open the country's economy this fourth quarter. This was revealed by Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez in an exclusive interview with Bloomberg's Kathleen Hayes. Let's listen in.
What's the outlook for fourth quarter GDP? Do you expect a significant pickup helped by this step?
Yes, actually, our second quarter GDP grew by over 11%. We expect the third quarter to be lower than that because of the spike in the Delta variant. However, we've seen our cases drop, and we're beginning to open up our economy. However, we still do quarantine. We still quarantine certain areas depending on the number of cases they have. So it's very, very targeted, and we expect our economy to really start opening up this quarter.
Do you expect to meet the 4 to 5% growth target set by the government earlier this year?
Yes. We're sticking to that growth target, and we think we'll hit it. After all, we hit 11.5% in the second quarter.
So what about inflation? It's a big worry around the world. Is it an increase? Is it a risk to this recovery? And what is the government doing to try to make sure that these high prices don't broaden out and prevent the expansion from broadening out as well?
We've identified the source of our elevated inflation. We are a bit over target this year, and we've identified the cause, and it's the shortage of pork. The effects of the African swine fever are taking its toll on our pork producers, and therefore what we have done was actually ease the quantity restrictions on the imports of pork, as well as lower the tariffs on pork. That has stopped pork prices from increasing. Now, of course, we're facing increasing fuel prices, but our estimates are that our inflation target will hold as long as fuel prices stay below $90 per barrel.
Meanwhile, the palace confirms that Health Secretary Francisco Duque was indeed not consulted when the IATF scrapped the facility quarantine requirement for some fully vaccinated travelers. Palace spokesperson Harry Roque explained that while the IATF was deciding on the new policy, Duque and other cabinet members, including himself, were in Davao to attend President Duterte's talk to the people. However, Duterte's talk also did not push through. Roque notes that although Duque was not consulted, representatives from the Health Department and other experts were present in the IATF meeting back here in the Metro. These include Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere and infectious disease expert Dr. Edsel Salvana. Recall that the IATF had earlier announced that fully vaccinated foreigners from green countries no longer have to undergo facility-based quarantine as long as they can present a negative RT-PCR test result.
lahat po kaming magkakasama sa Davao, wala sa meeting kahapon. Pero kahapon po, verify ko kung sinong naroroon. Nando naman po si Dr. Edsel Salvania at siya po yung nag-manifest na minimal naman daw po ang risk galing sa mga green countries. Napakababa po ng kaso ng COVID.
The death toll from severe tropical storm Maring has climbed to at least 37 as of today. The NDRRMC reports that of this number, 3 of the remains are still unidentified. A total of 16 people are still missing, while at least 3 were injured from the onslaught of Maring. Maring has also displaced over 42,600 families, while over 77,800 families were affected. The total damage to agriculture has reached 1.2 billion pesos. And because of damage caused by Maring, prices of agricultural products up north have also started to increase. Roman Lopez with the details.
Vegetable prices in La Trinidad trading post went up after severe tropical storm ravaged parts of northern Luzon. Many farmers rushed to harvest crops that they could still sell. But since many of the vegetables were damaged by the heavy rainfall, they were only able to salvage a few.
Sa lakas ng bagyo, madami talagang nasira. Halos hindi lang kalahati, mga mahigit pang nasirang pananim doon. Patatas, lahat, repolyo, ganun.
Kaya ba medyo nataas-taas ang presyo?
Sa ngayon pa lang hindi masyadong tumas, pero sa darating na araw sigurado yan na tataas kasi wala nang stock na gulay, wala nang maharvest.
This will be additional burden for consumers. Currently, some vegetables in La Trinidad are being sold at a higher price. Tomatoes are now at 28 pesos per kilo from 20 pesos. The price of onions also increased to 140 pesos per kilo from 120 pesos. Potatoes nearly doubled in price from 30 pesos per kilo to 65 pesos per kilo. But not all vegetables are seeing an increase in prices. These include garlic, which remains at 140 pesos per kilo. Meanwhile, the cost of Baguio beans decreased to 80 pesos per kilo from the previous 85 pesos per kilo. Broccoli is now at 60 pesos per kilo from 90 pesos per kilo.
Na-slide mga kalsada, ay ngayon nagtrabaho mga tao, kaya nabuksan yung kalsada nila, nakarating na sila dito. Mas mababa ngayon.
So maraming stock.
Oh, dami.
Still, farmers and traders says that Maring's damage to crops may cause prices of some vegetables to still shoot up until December. Meanwhile, prices of flowers from La Trinidad are also expected to shoot up due to higher demand during the All Saints Day and All Souls Day. Roses will be sold at around 350 pesos per bundle from the previous 200 pesos. Other flowers like chrysanthemum and carnation, all priced below 100 pesos, may cost a little bit more before the month ends. But sellers are also facing another problem, the lack of customers.
Ito nga, walang bumubiling buyer, walang maakyat. Kahit may buyer, mura ang bayaran nila.
Flower farmers are just banking on improved weather, so buyers may visit them soon for the upcoming undas. For News 5, Romel Lopez. We are One News.
So here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. The pilot run of pediatric vaccinations for COVID-19 begins today. The World Health Organization is now recommending booster shots for select individuals. And cinemas and other recreation centers gear up for Metro Manila's shift to alert level 3 starting tomorrow. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.